Hey guys, I'm Kyle with Lone Peak. I'm here with our production version of the Lone Peak camper. This is an awesome stage to be at. I don't know, it was probably last week I showed some pictures of the frames going together, and the frames and the extrusions were flawless. They went together so well. The machine parts, how they match up with the extrudes. This thing is beefier, stronger, and lighter than my prototype. So things are going really well. So moving back, probably the first video I ever posted, I talked about what makes the camper different. And it's really our process of how we cut extrudes and how we mill aluminum composite panels in order to create a skin that goes on the extrudes. So great news, our cut machine is super accurate. It's dialed. Our CNC router to cut out the panels is dialed and operational. So we are greenlit for production on really the key machinery that we can make campers with. I got some notes here. Let me see what we got here. So on this camper, we have gaskets in between all of the metal parts, and that's to make sure that this is waterproof. So we're not just bolting metal on metal and hoping nothing gets through. We have, it's called a VHB gasket. It's waterproof and also helps things stick together. We have, come on a little bit closer here, Jeremy. We have some grab handles on this with our logo embossed. This is a really nice soft touch paint, super durable, and it feels really good to grab onto. So I kind of like them. We also have here the dust killer vent. This is on the inside. This is basically where your shark fin goes. This gives us another inch. So instead of being 3 or 4 inches above the top of your cab, this basically gets us an inch lower, so we can have about 2 inches of clearance. What else we got here? Okay, so this is where we're at. Next week is kind of D-Day. We're getting this thing. I should have mentioned this. This is a Tacoma model. You guys have been wanting to see what a Tacoma model looks like. This is a 5-foot bed with a 10-foot camper. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good. The proportions are pretty solid. Over here is the one that's going to go on top of my truck. You might be wondering, why the heck is the roof white? Well, we don't have our production panels in yet, so we sourced a local vendor. All they had was white. Let me know if you like the white. It kind of looks weird and stormtrooper-ish, but it could be an option because the panels are white on one side, black on the other, so we could reverse it. Let me know in the comments below if that is something that you guys would enjoy or not. All right, so yes, next week we have the frames built up. There's lots of little accessories that we have to test with this. And this leads me to the one issue that we had on buildup. So going way back to January when I was talking about the new design, we decided to make our hinges out of a plastic material called high density polyethylene. The bummer is that we use a new supplier, and the hinges are supposed to be round. They fit in a round hole so they can rotate. They're not round, they are oblong. And I had a conversation with the supplier and they said, X-nay, we can't make them round. They're way out of spec. So that is a problem, meaning that we have to retool the hinges. So that's the bad news. The solution to this is that we're gonna change the material from HDPE to aluminum. So I have aluminum on the camper that's on my truck right now, on the prototype. It's worked totally fine. I thought that there'd be an issue with wear. We're drying after a while. It hasn't. So we're switching back to aluminum with the same vendor that we're using for the rest of the extrudes. So what this means is that next week we're doing a final integration test, meaning it's going on my truck. All the little odds and ends are going on so we can test them all together. And then mid to late next week, we will release the production orders for the machine parts and for the extrudes. Those have about a month lead time on them. So the end of July, we'll be building up frames, essentially what you see here. We'll have to see when the tents come in, but we can build up frames and panels without the tent. So the first 50 will be sitting here, ready to go, waiting for the hinges so we can build up the doors. And the supplier's lead time on new parts is 6 to 7 weeks on that. So we are, let's call it mid to late August until these will actually be ready for you to pick up on the first 50. One thing to note, a lot of you guys are asking, When can I schedule my date? I gotta request time off. I wanna plan a trip for summer. We're not gonna schedule dates until we get the hinges in, because I don't want you driving from across the country and coming and I don't want any risk for the camper to not be ready for you. So I know it kind of sucks because it's gonna delay when you get the camper, because then you have to request time off after we greenlight it, but that's the decision we're making right now. Let's see, in mid-July, in the next month, we will be calling to finalize orders. So we've been focusing on building these guys up. I gotta get back into website mode and add some fun new accessories, the rear lights, the side lights, power plate, which is our solar charge controller and inverter, panels, batteries, all the things that we're gonna offer, so that if you guys wanna add those, you can add them, and we'll do that in one transaction when we finalize your order. So if you're in the first 50, the orders start at 1,000, Shopify's thing. So if you're under 1,050, we'll be reaching out in the next month. So all in all, I'm super happy with how this has come together. I can't wait to build these up, get them in your hands. We are running about 2 months behind schedule of what we originally estimated back in November. So if you guys need to adjust any plans and this affects it, reach out to us at team@lonepeakoverland.com. I'll see you next time.